Hi guys, welcome back to Blog Fix Friday. I thought this week for Blog Fix Friday I would talk about 10 things I wish I'd known before I started blogging. So I love these because I think as a new blogger it's really a really great way to get the inside track and to learn without making the mistakes yourself. And as a more experienced blogger, I just find it really interesting what other people feel that they missed and the most important things for them, because let's be honest, we all miss stuff. None of us come into this having a degree in blogging, and we all just learn as we go along, and that's part of the joy, I think. But I wanted to share my 10 things. So first thing would be, if it doesn't light your fire, don't do it anymore. So I'm not talking about blogging in general, but I am, but the thing for me would be to not do the stuff that I don't want to do. So if I've started a feature or joining in with a linky or whatever it is in my blog and it doesn't really make me excited and it doesn't light my fire, I should just stop it. So I've run features before and I've done this, that and the other, and I felt obligated to keep on doing it, but actually it's not been a content that I've had my heart in. So that would be it. That would be probably my first thing. I think the second thing would be, it's a hard one, but it wouldn't be to not get sucked into the rankings and the stats. Now, it's probably thinking, well, it's easy for you to say because you're ranked highly and you've got good stats, and yes it is, but I think I used to check my stats multiple times a day, and I would sort of obsess about the rankings, and although I'm still in the rankings and they're still important, and if I go down then I do feel a bit deflated, but I think I rarely check my stats now. I think at the moment I check them just to really see where the referrals are coming from, to see whether what I'm implementing is having an effect. So my mates, I'm doing more work on Pinterest, and then I check my stats to see whether Pinterest is going up, which it has done. So I think I do that really, and it might be like twice a month that I look once a week briefly to see my top post that I have to include in a post that I write, but I don't obsess about it because I think that's coming at it the wrong way. In a way, that's getting the end result and then panicking about what you didn't do. And I think really you've got to look beyond that month scores to the future, but just to keep on working through. So don't obsess about rankings and stats, because it will happen if you work hard enough. I think one of the third things would be, and I don't think a lot of people even have a clue of this yet, but is how reasonably priced freelancers can be to work for you. So you might think, oh, I'm nowhere near the stage where I could get someone to work for me. And I'm not talking about necessarily about a VA. Katie, from what Katie said, is my VA. So she's not, I don't pay her peanuts, but it's people more like designers, or I had a tech issue on my blog and I got it sorted for £3.98, which was the $5 equivalent. And it was all sorted out, so I didn't have to think about it. I just got some guy that was a tech guy from Fiverr and he did it for me. So in terms of that, £3.98 is probably not even a large chai latte at Starbucks, but it was just sorted for me and I didn't have to spend time thinking about it. I think another thing would be the value of images. Now I do a lot of photography and my images I feel are good and I always get compliments on them, but at the beginning I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. My images weren't the right size really for what they were used for. I would always say that your image should be as wide as your blog will allow it to be. It really upsets me when images are small and there's white space on each side. Make it big, right the way across. So that would be, and images are so important to telling your story. So even if you're writing about anything, the most dull topic, putting an image in it will make it more digestible for people. I think one of the biggest things, and I think this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, would be the value of SEO, search engine optimization. You can write the best content in the world, but if you don't search engine optimize it properly, you are relying on someone noticing it and then thinking it's brilliant and sharing it to get any good traffic. So really think about how you should be search engine optimizing your posts and also your images as well. Don't forget that you can do that to images. You can put tags on your images that means they'll show up in Google image search, which is also a driver of traffic. So the next thing would be to sort of get the behind the scenes admin right. So I would love to have known what categories and all that kind of thing I was going to go into, and I know that's impossible to know, but just to make it simplified. So I think it would just be getting all of those things right and important, you know, and done from the start would be one of the big things for me, I think. Another one would be how happy it could make me. Like, genuinely never been as happy in my life as I am now. And that's from obviously my family as well, but a large part of it's from blogging. And I think that if I'd have known that, I would have probably started earlier in my life, and I'm so grateful for it now, but I would have been really grateful for it at certain other points in my life too. So that would be another thing. Celebrate the small stuff. So although it's really important to be focused on your goals and where you want to go with your blog, I feel, just to give yourself a pat on the back for the things that you've done. Did you manage to link up to a linky without it going wrong? Well, yes, well, give yourself a pat, because it's all stuff we've had to learn as we've gone along. So I really think be your own cheerleader, and to give yourself a virtual high five, or a real one if you want, every time you get something right, just to keep you motivated, because it is hard work. To realise that you can't do it all, I think, is my biggest thing. And I've tried, and it's probably put me near burnout a few times, and now I'm at the point where I am outsourcing some things. I have a virtual assistant, I outsource some tech stuff. My new design that may or may not be up by now, depending on when this goes live, has been a design that I had commissioned for me. You know, I commissioned a designer to do it, because actually I didn't want to do it myself. I love doing it, I love design, but I wanted fresh eyes, and so I paid someone to do it for me. And yes, I am in the position now where I can, but that's all come from my blog, so it's reinvestment. And I think it's sort of tied into how happy it could make me, but would be just how amazing the people are. I think blogging gives you the ability to find people that would be your best friends, but they're all over the country, or the world, so you wouldn't necessarily be able to meet them if you didn't have a blog. And I think that's the most amazing thing, is that I've talked about it loads of times before, but I'll try and tag in a couple of posts that, you know, blogging has changed my life, but it's also found me the best friends that I've ever had in my whole life. Genuinely, not weird stalker, you know, internet friends, but genuinely friends that I've met on the internet that now we've met multiple times, talk to every day, and it's given me a sort of friendship level that I never had at any other point in my life. So that would be 10 things I wish I'd known before I started blogging, because it would make my blog better than it is now, and I'd have probably done it all much sooner. So that's Blog Fix Friday for this week, and if you've got anything you'd like me to cover, don't forget to let me know in the comments. You can always leave a comment with anything that you'd like me to cover in Blog Fix Friday. Don't forget to give it the thumbs up. I would love it if you could just give the video the thumbs up. It really helps YouTube show it to more people. And also subscribe if you like blogging tips and you're potentially wanting to start a blog, or you want to make your blog into your business. I do lots of blogging stuff and business stuff. So I'll see you soon. Bye.